The building loomed, a skeletal silhouette against the bruised twilight sky. Jagged shards of glass winked from shattered windows, like malevolent eyes peering out into the dying light. Ivy, thick and gnarled as an old man's fingers, clawed its way up the crumbling brickwork, a testament to years of neglect. This was no sanctuary of science. This was a tomb for knowledge, for ambition, for humanity itself. Even the wind seemed to whisper warnings as it whistled through the gaps in the structure, a low, mournful sigh that sent chills down my spine. The air itself tasted different here, heavy with the metallic tang of decay and the faint, cloying sweetness of rot. A shiver snaked its way down my spine, a primal instinct screaming at me to turn back, to run while I still could, but something held me rooted to the spot, a morbid curiosity that tugged me towards the heart of the unknown. The rusted door hinges groaned in protest, a tortured shriek that echoed through the oppressive silence. Dust motes danced in the thin sliver of moonlight that pierced the gloom, illuminating a scene frozen in time. The air was thick with the smell of decay, of dust and something else, something faintly metallic and alien. It clung to the back of my throat, thick and cloying, a taste of the horrors that awaited. My heart hammered against my ribs, a frantic drumbeat in the stillness. Each step deeper into the belly of the beast felt like a victory against some unseen force, a force that urged me to turn back, to flee while I still had the chance. But the scientist in me, the part that craved knowledge above all else, urged me forward. I had come seeking answers, and I would not be deterred. Not now, not when I was so close. The floor was littered with debris, a chaotic jumble of shattered glass, rusted metal, and papers yellowed with age. Each step I took sent up a small cloud of dust, further obscuring the already limited visibility. I felt a chill crawl up my spine, and I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched, my every move scrutinized by unseen eyes. Twisted metal groaned underfoot, a symphony of decay that echoed through the desolate halls. The walls, once pristine white, were now stained a sickly yellow, marked with the passage of time and the horrors they had witnessed. Shadows danced in the flickering beam of my flashlight, taking on grotesque and menacing forms that sent shivers down my spine. Each room I ventured into painted a grimmer picture of the experiments that had taken place within these walls. Operating tables, cold and metallic, stood like sentinels of suffering stained with something that looked disturbingly like blood. Jars lined the shelves, filled with grotesque specimens floating in murky liquid, their lifeless eyes staring accusingly. The air hummed with a low, almost imperceptible vibration, a feeling of wrongness that seeped into my bones. The silence was broken only by the drip, drip, drip of water, each drop a hammer blow against the silence. It was the sound of time, slowly eroding the last vestiges of sanity that clung to this place. The air was heavy, thick with the stench of decay and the lingering memory of fear. It pressed down on me, suffocating, threatening to consume me whole. The leather-bound journal lay open on a table, its pages brittle with age. The ink was faded, but the words that remained were stark, filled with a chilling fervor that sent chills down my spine. The scientist's entries spoke of a breakthrough, a creature of unimaginable power, cobbled together from the stolen flesh of the innocent. He wrote of his dreams, his ambitions, his descent into madness. Each page I turned brought me closer to the truth, a truth more horrifying than anything I could have imagined. The scientist, driven by his own hubris, had tampered with forces he could not comprehend, unleashing something monstrous upon the world. His words were a desperate plea for understanding, for forgiveness, but mostly for someone to stop the abomination he had created. The final entry was a scrawled mess, barely legible in the dim light. It spoke of the creature's escape, of the carnage it had wrought, of the scientist's own impending doom. The words were filled with a raw, primal fear that transcended the page, reaching out across the years to grip me in its icy talons. A low growl, guttural and filled with primal rage, echoed from the shadows. My blood ran cold. The hairs on the back of my neck stood on end, every instinct screaming at me to run, to flee for my life. But my legs felt rooted to the spot, paralyzed by a terror so profound it bordered on the hypnotic. The creature emerged from the darkness, a grotesque mockery of nature. Stitched together from the parts of countless victims, it moved with a horrifying grace that belied its patchwork origins. Its eyes, glowing with a malevolent intelligence, locked onto mine, and a wave of pure primal fear washed over me, leaving me gasping for breath. Its stench, a nauseating blend of decay and something else, something wholly unnatural, filled the air. It was the smell of death, of corruption, of something ancient and evil. The creature took a step closer, its ragged claws scraping against the concrete floor, and a low growl rumbled in its chest, a sound that promised unimaginable pain. Panic surged through me, snapping me out of my terror-induced paralysis. I stumbled back, my foot catching on a piece of debris. The flashlight clattered to the ground, plunging me into darkness. Blindly, I scrambled to my feet, adrenaline lending me a burst of speed. The creature roared in frustration, the sound echoing through the deserted lab like the wrath of some ancient god. I could hear its heavy footsteps pounding behind me, getting closer with every passing second. Each ragged breath I took was filled with the stench of decay, of the creature's putrid breath hot on my heels. I didn't dare look back, didn't dare slow down. My only hope was to reach the exit, to escape the nightmare that had become my reality. The lab, once a place of discovery and wonder, was now a labyrinth of terror, every twist and turn a potential dead end. The night air hit me like a slap in the face, cold and clean, a stark contrast to the fetid air of the lab. I stumbled out into the open, my lungs burning, my legs screaming for respite, but I didn't stop running, not until I was far, far away from that cursed place. Even now, days later, the memory of that night haunts my waking hours. The stench of decay, the creature's guttural growl, the feeling of its hot, fetid breath on my neck, they are burned into my mind, a constant reminder of the horrors that lurk in the shadows. The scars, both physical and emotional, run deep. My sleep is plagued by nightmares, my waking hours consumed by the fear that the creature might one day find me, that my curiosity had unleashed a horror upon the world that could never be contained. The lab remains abandoned, a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked ambition. The authorities have sealed it off, but I know that whatever horrors lurk within those walls can never truly be contained. The scientist's work, his hubris, has left an indelible mark on the world. I am left with more questions than answers. What became of the scientist? What other horrors did he unleash upon the world? And what will become of the creature he created? These questions haunt me, a constant weight on my soul. The diary, now in my possession, offers a glimpse into the scientist's descent into madness, but it provides no real answers. It is a testament to the dangers of unchecked ambition, of the darkness that lies at the heart of even the most noble of pursuits. The abandoned lab stands as a stark warning, a testament to the potential for darkness that lies within us all. It is a reminder that some lines are not meant to be crossed, some doors best left unopened. The scientist's quest for knowledge, his desire to unravel the mysteries of life and death, led him down a dark and dangerous path. His story is a cautionary tale, a reminder that even the most noble of pursuits can have unintended consequences. The pursuit of knowledge is a noble endeavor, but it is a path fraught with peril. We must tread carefully, lest we become consumed by our own ambition, our own hubris, for the secrets we seek may ultimately be our undoing.